NFL fans, welcome back to the channel. This is the J All Day Show. We're going to give our final picks for Week 10. Miss Penny Lane, Prophet Penny, is stopping by to say hello to everyone before we give our final picks for Week 10. There's a lot of injuries that we have to report on, so make sure you stick around. Here are my final picks. Last week, we absolutely crushed it. We went 13-2 with all of our picks from last Tuesday's video. We're crushing it, guys. That's why you got to like and subscribe to the channel and check out our memberships. Let's get into Week 10 final picks. Right, Penny Lane? Right. Go Birds! Go Birds! NFL fans, let's get into these Week 10 predictions. A lot of really exciting games. We're going to start to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Let's start off with the really fun game in Germany, in Munich. Giants taking on the Panthers. Yes, the Giants are 2-7, but 5 out of their 7 losses have been pretty close games, coming in at 10 or less points, right? So I think they're a little bit better than they're being given credit to. But the Panthers are the Panthers, right? Bryce Young had a final drive, come from behind victory. I like Bryce Young getting the opportunity to keep playing. But the Giants have a really good pass rush. They lead the NFL in sacks, and I think that pressure is going to get to Bryce Young, force some turnovers. So I like the Giants in this spot. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns are the reason why the Giants lead the NFL in sacks. I'm going with the Giants to win this game. Should be a lot of fun. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Colts. This is a really interesting game for me, right? Okay. Keon Coleman has been ruled out of this game. That's a very important injury you have to take into consideration. Also, still questionable is Amari Cooper, right? So they might be without 2 of their best wide receivers in this spot. The spread's only -4, but this is one of those situations where we're looking at the line and being like, this is a crazy line. It should be like 6.5 or 7, but without their 2 top wide receivers, and the Colts play okay football. Joe Flacco's at the helm now. The wide receiver room is pretty decent. I do like myself some Adonai Mitchell. And Jonathan Taylor, I think, can have a big day possibly in this game. So, all that said, I think the Buffalo Bills still win this game. But if the Colts won it, I wouldn't be surprised, like a 23-20, come from behind, game-winning field goal in the last drive type of situation. So, taking the Colts and +4. I'm thinking about that. I'm definitely thinking long and hard about the Colts and +4, but I'm still going to ride with the Buffalo Bills in this spot. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings on the road taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got a big injury alert here, guys. Trevor Lawrence, it looks like, is out. He's doubtful in this game. It looks like Mac Jones will be taking over the quarterback position. There's nothing I've seen from Mac Jones at his time with New England where I'm like, this guy could be a good starting NFL quarterback. I'm not a big fan at all. The Jaguars have decent weapons with Bigsby and Brian Thomas Jr. Christian Kirk is still done for the year with a collarbone injury. But the Minnesota Vikings and that offense, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Addison, Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold's been playing pretty good. I'm hoping they finally get Blake Cashman back. There's no real definitive word on that yet. He is the heart and soul and the center of that defense, and they've really missed him in his absence. I think it's a toe injury. I'm still going with the Minnesota Vikings for sure. I like them in this spot. The Jaguars are reeling. They're falling apart. They don't have a lot of team chemistry. I expect Doug Peterson to get fired at the end of the season. I'm rolling with the Vikings all day long. This is a very interesting game. Division game. The Chiefs haven't really played well versus the Broncos, right? So, I've been debating on flipping over to the Broncos. I definitely like the Broncos and the 7.5 points. I think that's a very viable bet in this spot, +7.5. I'm actually, after I get done shooting this video, going to put a small bet on the Broncos in +7.5. The Chiefs' offense has not been very good. Both of these defenses are extremely aggressive. They want to get after the quarterback. Very physical defenses. Can Bo Nix, the rookie, handle Spagnuolo's defense? I doubt it. But I think they can keep it close, right? The Chiefs' offense has not been humming. Pat Mahomes is a little bit banged up as well, so I'm going with the Chiefs at home especially, but I think it's a closer game than the 7.5 points. Chiefs get the W here, guys. Next up, Falcons Saints. I'm going to put another bet on this. Falcons at -3.5 is insane to me. I just don't get it. I don't know if Vegas knows something we don't know, but I like the Falcons in this spot to get the W. The Saints lost to them earlier in the year. I think it was like 26-24 or something like that. It was like a 2-point game. But Olave and Raheem Shaheed had like 15 catches for like 170 yards. They're both not playing in this game. So if the Falcons can beat the Saints with their top two receivers, I expect them to dominate without the top two receivers for the Saints. I like the Falcons in this spot. I think Kirk Cousins got this team rolling. They're also 3-0 on the road this year, so they're not affected by playing on the road at all whatsoever. I like Kirk Cousins and Atlanta to continue to get the W and keep rolling and get closer and closer to winning that NFC South. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers, Commanders. Yet a lot of people are going with the Commanders, but I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers and the points. Straight up Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they win as well, right? Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL with Highsmith and TJ Watt. A very aggressive, turnover-heavy defense, right? They didn't do too great last week against the run, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that if that's a trend or just an anomaly, right? But the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off a bye, guys. Mike Tomlin has had 2 weeks to prepare for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. They're better coached. I think they have a better overall team. Russell Wilson's been playing well. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game on the road for sure. All right, Christian McCaffrey looks like he's lined up to play in this 49ers Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. So the Buccaneers in this 3-game losing streak have given up over 30 points per game. Defense has not played well. I'm looking for the 49ers to get right here. I'm not laying minus 290 on it, though. That's for god dang sure. So, 49ers get back Christian McCaffrey. We'll have to see if Jawan Jennings is going to suit up. He's been banged up. Deebo Samuel looks like he's going to play. He's been banged up as well. But Brock Purdy getting Christian McCaffrey back not only in the run game, but the passing game as well is really going to open up this offense and take some pressure off a defense that's been kind of reeling. They're coming off a bye too. I like the 49ers in this spot. There's too much negativity against the Buccaneers. No Godwin, no Evans, giving up tons of points. I like San Francisco on the road here. Here's another really interesting game. Patriots at the Bears. The Bears have been terrible. The offense has looked awful, but the Patriots' offensive line is really bad, and Chicago's D-line is pretty good at getting after the quarterback, putting pressure on the quarterback. I like the Bears to get right in this spot, especially at home. Probably going to be a pretty close game, though, but I like the Bears to win this game. I don't think the Patriots have enough juice. Drake May versus Caleb Williams. Very interesting matchup, but I'm going to go with the Bears. Ride with the Bears in this spot. Titans at the Chargers. It looks like Will Levis will be back at the quarterback position for the Titans, but it's not like it matters at all whatsoever. The Titans are a disaster. The Chargers play good defense. They're going to run the ball down your throat. I think it's a low-scoring game. 7.5-point spread. And the over-under is only at 39, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty one-sided affair. That's what Vegas thinks. I'm going with the Chargers. The Chargers are in play for some parlays as well. Here comes another game that's interesting. Eagles at the Cowboys. A tale of two teams going in two different trajectories, right? Cowboys are bottoming them out, right? You know what I mean? No Dak Prescott. He tore that hamstring off the bone. I'm not sure if he plays the rest of the year. Cooper Rush, 30-year-old quarterback. We'll see what he can do. The Eagles haven't played particularly well in Dallas for like the last, 5 years or whatever. But they can't stop the run. I'm expecting Saquon Barkley and this offensive line to dominate, control time of possession, win this game, probably cover the spread. I'm taking my Eagles to win this game versus the Dallas Cowboys. It looks like Micah Parsons is probably going to be back as well, but that's not going to be enough to stop Saquon Barkley. A.J. Brown is still questionable. But Dallas Goedert's coming back. That'll open up some things for Devontae Smith and Barkley in the passing game. I like that. All right, Jets-Cardinals. I've been going back and forth on this game. Back and forth and back and forth. I originally went with the Jets, but I'm switching to the Arizona Cardinals. I rewatched the Jets tape. Even though they won last week, they didn't play well. They're continuing to do dumb shit. And when you do dumb shit, you lose games, especially on the road. I like the Cardinals' offense. James Conner, I expect him to have a big day against this Jets defense that's very susceptible to the run. I like the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner, Kyler Murray. The Jets also give up a lot of yards to scrambling quarterbacks. I like Arizona in this spot. Lions-Texans. The Lions only given 3.5 makes no sense to me. The Texans haven't played well. I feel like Vegas still thinks they're the team from last year that's been dominating. That hasn't been the case this year at all whatsoever. I like the Lions in this spot on the road. The Texans have played better at home, this year, but it doesn't look like Nico Collins is coming back to practice, but I don't think he's going to be ready to play in this situation. Jameson Williams will be back from his suspension. How do the Texans cover them? How do they stop the pass rush? They just got Zadarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns. That pass rush is going to be great. I like the Lions in this spot. And then on Monday night, wrapping up our Week 10 picks, everyone, we got the Miami Dolphins traveling to SoFi Stadium. If you're an investor, SoFi stock is dominating right now. I love SoFi as a company. I love SoFi Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. LA Rams at home, -1. I love the Rams in this spot. Even though the Dolphins played the Bills tough last week, right? But the Bills had no Amari Cooper. The Miami Dolphins, I don't know how they stop. If they gave up all those points to the Bills, how do they stop the Rams and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp? As long as Puka Nacua doesn't punch people in the face, stays on the field, I like the Rams in this spot. That's my final picks for Week 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in sports betting, check out my memberships in the description down below. Hit that join button and you can see all the perks that I give you guys for being a member. A 99-cent tier just for supporting the channel, and a $4.99 tier, to get all my bets, all my early access to my content. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.